Meanwhile, the left eye gathered pace, rolling out of the bar looking for gems. It missed its lid, like an old jar put aside on a windowsill to keep brushes in. The pavement's patches of old chewing gum traces passed underneath its roll. Past the McDonald's it spun, where tea, the heat of a furnace, was produced to flame the burnt taste buds into submission and unman the breakfast baps. Onward, past the sacks of huddled homeless, the doorway-stained corpses. At times it saw flashes of Edwardian hidden neath gaudy new disappointments. Various objects d'art came sidling into view, like biros and spools with tacks. The cinema looked like a 50s diner, high raised red tables and metal edges. A woman said she was an estate agent and a nun, in a non-specific accent. No film showed, and the few seats were uncomfortable for the one-eyed man. He was dissatisfied with the whole thing and wondered if his time was wasted. Driving home wasn't an option, so he used his mind engine to transport him, talking to himself prodigiously while doing the washing up in lukewarm water, the microwave sizzling happily with Lloyd Grossman's basil-laced pasta sauce. Pots perched precariously on high positions, and the one eye dreamed of road trips. It rolled on, finding new and fascinating places untraversed by eyeballs or ears. There was some talk of the future 9th Star Wars film, Jedi with a Grievance. A man talked Genghis Khan after playing 5-string banjo and foot tambourine. All of town glittered in its snoozed-out plushness, fondling the sea's lapping. The eye saw it all and judged it accordingly, with its high moral standard set. The foot tambourine played a song for me, wasn't blowing in the wind though. In a small terraced house, someone was looking at assorted accumulated things. What they thought of them no one was ever to find out, gagged effectively. The radio ticked its sublime rubbish to the wood-chipped walls and various stuffs. The someone picked up a box and expectantly opened it to find nothing within. He elected to put a found thing into the box one day, if he discovered anything. He made do with a shuffle of his feet and a sloppy combing of the few hairs left. Adventures could wait till he finished the 3 books he had coffee-tabled up. How is it with all your bottleness, you can still find a way to look Batman? The one-eyed man was surprised by Pitta bread in a good, humorously way. Since losing his eye, he had kept to the right of pavements, rattling the railings. His other eye seemed more tired than usual, becoming pernicketly over books. He used his dry hands more when talking, not for sign language but for effects, and more than anything he counted his blinking using an abacus, an old slate. The result of this he sent to his girlfriend in an email with a list of Saxon words. For her part, she foxed him with a cunning use of differing eyebrow expressions. The sledgehammer lay on the beer crate with gay abandon, hexing the floor. Meanwhile, the one-eyed man sent out emails of national anthems in French. Then he drove with the fingered lass off into the night via Godalming roads. How she sang and played next to an old mill that was resurgent in its milling. He, though, sat and waved his ears about in helpful appreciation of acoustics. Mildly he wondered what and where his other eye was doing with its swagger. It always had a more confident air, he mused effectively, tapping footwear. The TV played a thing about American justice, which seemed to be rather scarce. The one-eyed man thought it seemed a highly dubious country for old men. And the need for a pneumatic nail gun is clearly a wise and sound precaution. What his wise other eye would say about it, he didn't know, but it would speak. On returning home, the mist descended, the weatherman enjoying its contrast. An easy chill gathered once more in the air as sinister forces assembled outside. Of course there was rain and the gushing of rivulets from forgotten streams. A sledgehammer glided its way across the maps of life with a spray can on side. It seemed a convenient business to brainwash the next dribbling generation with TV chefs shoving middle-class assumptions and ideals at those defenceless. Then there was the random meeting with sensical horizons and curdling beer, and the remembrance of bindi fags with tiny strings holding them together. The confusion of quasi-hippie lifestyle with the personal denial despite looks. The one-eyed man knew it well from last time they met outside It Blackened. The eye went once more to the bar, safe in its frosty floorboard-stained home. The eye watched as the dog went for chicken nuggets and chips with training. A beer crate hung like a lost sheep in a dip tank, while pliers giggled their lines. Circumventing the room, the eye focused on the important events transpiring. A girl with a willful left plat declared she was a Nazi for no conceivable reason. Other woeful lefties tried in vain to talk about the wrongs of this and her doom, yet they, by poor argument and lack of brain wit, clouded issues and let her win. Across town, someone left his strange house, box in hand, heading for the out. Small casters attached to his left leg stump rolled with each alternate stepping. The scrape attracted the attention of crows for want of other entertainments. The someone whistled a slow air to himself as puckered gums oscillated within. His right arm, powered with a motor, lifted into a familiar salute to a passer-by. The streets scurried by as if the figure moving was the substance, not the way. Grain-textured concrete wailed with the caster's abuse ringing off glass walls. Sandwiched corpses rolled in their bags, praying for the clouds to pass by above. By the by, Rick Stein and Jeremy Clarksman cavorted with mobile bowers naked. Such is the nature of weird docudramas these days, thought the one-eyed man. He felt his back tweak a bit as he strummed his Adja guitar listlessly in session. Then casually invented a supreme cocktail with the quiet sophistication of wise. The council building looks as run down and vapid as those resting within doors. As the finger girl and he, in movement mode, strove for an envelope's delivery. She went back to slumbers deep, he hoped, while he pondered Chimney's art. Then, in the grim darkness, the Nova-Sphinx made its subtle, penetrating salvos.